This is Adrian Aquarius. I have returned, and this is my first video of 2022. Um, I know that I have been off the grid for about 6 years. I am eager to come back to the space. I am eager to come back to the manosphere, and I have new videos and material that I would definitely love to upload. Here's one of my first. It's not even technically my first screen reaction. I actually have a lost tape. I have lost tapes that were unfortunately destroyed on my previous computer, and as you can see, I'm running a MacBook. I'm doing my best to recover that data, but let's enjoy the material that we have so far. So here is a video why dating is so hard for black women, and I can tell that this is I've seen the video already, but you can kind of tell this is another run of the mill cry, run of the mill crying black woman who is so successful yet so frustrated that black men are so lagging behind because they can't keep up, because they don't have good jobs, they don't have they're not financially stable, they live with their mama, they're gay. So sit back and have a drinking game, and for every outdated black stereotype, go get you a bottle of scotch. So we're gonna play the video.
I will say that the journey is long and it's hard and it's built with a lot of tears and frustration, because why is it so difficult for us to find love? I mean, everybody else is out there.
It's really easy. It's really because black women, you guys date solely on looks and status. If the guy is, select, handsome, you can easily, he doesn't even really have to have money. It's a plus. But for the most part, black women are relatively okay with men making less as long as he's attractive. And then the thing is that you realize that you're fighting over the same men, and you're neglecting guys like me. You're neglecting the educated lane, and so you guys have all these little conversations that literally are just circular arguments of where are all the good black men at. And again, guys like me have to sit in the background and just watch you guys put a thumb up your ass in trying to brainstorm on how you guys are going to get these new high value black men.
Doing what they do, meeting people, connecting, living their life to the fullest. But for us, we do not have the same excitement about our love life, right? We're definitely
a lot of this is just self-inflicted. It's not that these women are being abused, hurt, or they're dealing with a situation or a trauma that they didn't deserve or ask for. It's really just because they're narrow. They want these tall guys, they want these guys who are athletes, socially acceptable, and when guys like me ask them out, they're too uppity. Now all of a sudden it's, when I talk to you, you're fine with being single and you don't want no guy talking to you. But then when I'm not around, you're talking to all these other guys that aren't even trying to entertain you, because they want thinner women, they want light-skinned women, non-black women, exotic women. But, let's just carry on.
I struggled to get hard when I was in my 20s.
Fucked that one up.
Feeling down and out, and I want to take the opportunity to walk you through some common reasons. And let me preface it by saying that these reasons often don't make sense, but I'm going to share with you why this is common reason, just the experiences that I've had as a matchmaker, and walk you through how potentially you might be able to change.
I don't really take her that seriously that she's a matchmaker. To me, it feels like it's probably a self-entitled career that she made for herself. Whatever. This is why I do not like black matchmakers, because especially with black women, is that you guys are so narrow-minded, and you will see upon this video.
Things for yourself. All right, so let's start here. We tend to date within our race more than we date outside.
And I know where they're going to go. They're going to go with the whole, we love black men. We only love you guys. We want you guys. We don't like racism. So that's why we don't date other races of men. And we march for you. And the thing is that, again, this is really just a lazy excuse for black men that they do find attractive but don't date black women. It's a lazy excuse to get them back on board. When it comes to regular black men, they don't use these talking points.
If you are watching this video and you are a black woman, you probably understand and identify this concept, because most of us as black women, we still value and highly regard the idea of a black family, right? So
not really. They will say this, but really when it comes to everyday relationships, these females have zero intentions of a nuclear black family. They just use this talking point to guilt trip black men into thinking that we're not community minded and that we're not family oriented. But in reality, it's them. It is them breaking up relationships. It is them breaking up marriages. And it is them that is fucking up the black community.
That means that our parents, our families, our grandparents, they have relationships that we aspire to, right? We have relationships that we want to see ourselves in our future partners, maybe even our family.
The sad reality is that a lot of modern women are not going to have the success of marriage like their foremothers. You guys will not be married for 40 years plus. You guys will not die with your husbands. You guys will be 78 to 90 alone, single.
And so because we have this picture in our mind of what we envision for our own relationships, we tend to date within our race and ethnicity more so than our counterparts. Now, if I were to break it down even more, and if you guys have a little bit of time for this conversation, I definitely encourage you to pull up a seat, because let's look at the grand scheme of things. If we look at systematic racism, the number of black women to number of black men to black women, the numbers are definitely.
I hate when black women pull up these bullshit ratios that every black man needs to pair up with a black woman so they can fix this off-scale shoot that there's so many women, there's so many more black women than black men. The issue is that even if you do the pairing, black women will not be happy with who they got. You're going to see black women fighting amongst themselves, trying to figure out, well, I want this guy. This guy is too short. So this narrow-mindedness that there's this super pairing that black women are willing to do, even with non-select men, is not real. They're not going to do it. So I don't know why black matchmakers keep using this talking point. Black women will not do it.
In our favor. And so it makes it really difficult for us if we are trying to.
I can walk around and say, hey, I only like black women. I am only willing to date, marry, and have children with black women. And it won't even count. It won't even matter. So this talking point of, we need to do this selective arranged marriage is a dead conversation.
This family lifestyle that we envision, the pool is so much smaller than what is actively available, right? Because
the pool is not small. The problem is that you guys are not willing to date us. You are not willing to date the guy that is under 5'8". And it's really even just on the height. You're so worried about his status. You're so worried about non-essential things that you are willing to be single for the rest of your life because you cannot get the guy that you want.
there are more of us that end up incarcerated unjustly so. There are more of us that get harmed by the police.
More to Black Lives Matter pandering. Trust me, prison is not stopping these women from finding guys. As crazy as it sounds, you can go to Kendra G's Instagram, and there's a woman who is in the medical field, and she magically shacked up with a guy that was in prison, and she got her ass whooped, and now she wants a divorce.
If not killed, if I want to be completely honest, that definitely contributes to our numbers. And so because of that,
it does not contribute to the numbers. You cannot say or blame the death of Trayvon Martin or Mike Brown and say that because these men died, that it's fucking up the numbers of black women's dating pool. I know she didn't say that specifically, but it's what she's trying to say, and it doesn't make any sense.
It's just far more difficult for us to have what we want in our partnerships. But this is a definite opportunity for us to consider that perhaps our dream can expand, which pulls me up to the very next reason. So we tend to be a little bit more educated than our counterparts. So if we are also
fine, whatever. I'm not even really gonna entertain this. I do have a college degree. But I'm so tired of black women pulling this bullshit educated shit. Like I said, I represent educated lames, black men with degrees. And even with her talking points of black pairing, with like attraction, we still don't get any love. We're still not the bee's knees to educated black women. They're not on our DMs. Nothing to do with us. So even if we get the degrees, as much as black women have their bullshit degrees, it still would be divided on who is select and who is non-select.
Dating within our race, we are also educated and financially stable. It definitely contributes.
That's not true. Black women are not financially stable. Even in this pandemic alone, I have been annoyed so many times even before the pandemic, I've been annoyed so many times about women wanting me to pay their goddamn bills, even though they had a goddamn degree.
To the difficulties that we're having in finding the kind of partner that we want.